original rugby league derby anywhere in the world. Wigan against St Helens. Enjoy the noise. Some of the younger stars in Super League, they're all here and they're spread across both of these famous old clubs. The curtain will come down after this. Expect a ferocious 80 minutes from the Betfred Super League. Enjoy it all now with John Wells and Mark Wilson.
Cheers, Brian. What an electric atmosphere here. The pyrotechnics already started. We might be getting more on the field as well. Two big rivals, a top four spot in the Super League up for grabs after this one. Third meeting of the season, one win apiece. Who will win the third of the campaign? Wigan hit by injuries, Saints needing a win. John Wells, who's going to come out on top tonight?
Yeah, good evening, Mark. Well, I'm not even going to try and guess. What I can say is that I reckon this is going to live up to the billing. We closed the show with two of Super League's biggest guns, both sides littered with stars. We know that. The boys pitch side have set this one absolutely perfectly. All we've got to do now is watch the thing.
Let battle commence. We have saved the best until last. But who will prevail in this fantastic stadium? The 8th Magic meeting between these two. The countdown to kick-off is on. And the Magic curtain comes down with Wigan against St Helens. Now, well, there's an off-the-ball scuffle there. There's an off-the-ball scuffle before the first kick. Here we go! The pyrotechnics are banging away already.
It was David Clemmer off the kick chase, and he's collided with someone. It was an awkward collision. Boy, it doesn't take much to bring these boys together, does it? And if we hadn't set it up enough already for you, there you go. It's Clemmer straight into the back now. That's deliberate. That's deliberate. And on Brad O'Neill as well. He's picked his target well, or not well, depending on your viewpoint.
You push Brad O'Neill in the back, John Wells, you know you're getting something coming back the other way. Is that a cheap shot? Is that a stupid shot? Or is it just the perfect way to get things bubbling up?
I just think it's added another layer of spice, hasn't it? An intrigue as to what's going to happen in the opening exchanges. Yeah, Brad O'Neill responds immediately, doesn't he? There's some vitriol here, there's some spite between these two sides.
What a start. So, an early call. There's Brad O'Neill, he's not happy. What a start to proceedings. We've not yet officially had a tackle yet.
It'll just be a penalty, won't it?
Should be, you would imagine. Speak to the players
stationary there. No, you take it into your own hands, push him and start all of that. So the penalty's going against you. I'm done with you now. Jackson, I need you. Harry, come on. Right, I didn't expect having this conversation 5 seconds into this game, all right? That ends now. I want to try and sit back and let you boys play rugby. But if we have that again, players are going to be sat down, okay?
Well, there you go. Chris Kendall having to get stuck in early on, laying the marker down.
Yeah, well done. It absolutely could happen again, by the way. But he said all the right words. Yeah, absolute deliberate act there. But boy, it sets us up, doesn't it?
Yeah. Match number 2-1-5 of the season already. And if the first few seconds anything to go by, we could be in for an absolute barnstormer here. The crowd packed out here as a big shot goes in there. Well, they've both come out trying to stamp their identity on this match. Here's Junior December. Carries strong. O'Neill, incensed, gets it away to Ellis. Saints having to do some defending early on. Farriman turns the ball back in. Last one here for the Warriors. Smith going to send it airborne. A chance to get on the end of it. Batted back. Here's Junior December looking to offload it. One hand, he couldn't get anywhere away. Gets it away. Now Smith going. And Smith's going to be dragged down. If only someone had been on the end of the December pass.
Yeah, heart rate's elevated just for a second there for the Saints defenders. But they handle it reasonably well in the end. They get their chance to clean the lines now. Kean McDermott makes contact. He's only played 5 games this season, and Matt Pete's chosen to chuck him in at the deep end. Front row, Wigan Saints derby, Magic weekend. I really like him as a player, by the way.
Yeah, that win at Hull last week, expensive in terms of forwards loss for Wigan. You know what they say, one man's misfortune is another man's opportunity. And it's McDermott who gets the starting shirt here. Here goes Clemmer against O'Neill. There's the offload. Keep an eye on that one. Walmsley carries. Down the short side they go. High kick. Forward comes Field. Pressure from Saylor, who hit him but didn't take him down, and Field bounces away and brings it forward. They both had a feel of the ball.
Yeah, great kick chase as well by Tristan Saylor. I guess the next level is to secure the tackle on Jay Field. He's not somebody you want to let bounce off and start skirting across the line. We know how dangerous a backfield runner he is. Jake Wardle now with his first touch of the afternoon. Classy centre, just still finding his feet, I feel, for the Wigan Warriors this year.
And a big shot goes in, this time on Eckersley. O'Neill, the intensity, straight through the middle, almost was Ellis. Dragged down by the collar on his shirt. Smith sends it high, an early tester at the back, but it's well taken. Was the contact in the air? The Saints fans down there certainly think so, and referee Chris Kendall blows the whistle.
Yeah, Nathan Lowe just mistimed it, just a quarter of a second. He got on his bike. Dagnall leaves the ground late. That's what draws the penalty. I think Dagnall was pretty smart there. Just a leap late, knew contact was going to be made. It was a cheap 15 metres, by the way, that are going to be so hard fought, aren't they, this evening?
Yeah, the opening exchanges are anything to go by. Here now is Hastings. Towards the 40-metre line comes Saints in their changed blue and white strip. All on the angle now is carried forward by Wright. Over halfway they go. Clark finds Hastings, gets it away. Turn and spin inside the Wigan 40. Wolfsby gets it away to Saylor. Saylor rolls the kick in here. They're trying to get it in behind low, and there might be a chance. Oh, they went without it.
He's pushed off the ball.
Was he tackled off the ball?
I think they've certainly got a case. It was such a smart kick.
Well, this is a big decision.
Right, Liam, tackle 4. We have a live call of no try. We're just checking potential penalty try, please.
Okay, no try on field, so we're first reviewing Chaser is onside. You can see Wright's offside to the left. You can see to the right they're onside. Shane Wright to the left is offside. He doesn't get involved. Let's play on from this point, let's see what happens. Something close on that. So you can see he does make contact there before Dagnall takes possession of the ball. However, this is not a potential try-scoring situation given the proximity of Jay Field. However, it is a penalty for making contact without the ball. Thank you, I've made my decision.
Well, there you go. And it will just be no try. We knew that anyway. The only decision was how we would restart play, and it is going to be a penalty against Wigan. So the young winger there put under pressure, and the contact on Dagnall is deemed to be foul play, and that will be a penalty to St Helens.
Yeah, look, and I think fair decision as well. It was Owen Dagnall made the claim. They can rule out penalty try because of the proximity of other defenders. Jay Field was in the frame, and there was no certainty at all that a try was going to be scored, but it's good early pressure and good early field position for Saints.
Yeah, Saylor gets it away, taken in by Clemmer.
Jeez, he's clobbered in the tackle.
Here now is Shorrocks, finds Walmsley. They're coming racing off the line, Wigan here. An early test of their defensive mettle. Ball now back on the angle, is carried forward again by Davis. To reach for it there, Shorrocks slid on his knees, but lost momentum. Clark centre field, gets it away now. Ball back on the angled run again. They're just trying to work over the middle of the field. Good defence there. What have Saints got on the last tackle? They're going to go to the boot here of Hastings. Floats it over. They're trying to bat it back. It went forward, and Wigan will get it back. Eckersley looking to return it with a bit of interest.
A couple of tactics I've seen very early on. So that kick, as we'll see again, they've not got an awful lot of strike in terms of kick reception in attack of St Helens, apart from Nene McDonald. That was a kick that was shortened up and designed for him to attack. The other thing, next time you see Saints get the ball, they've used the short side quite a lot. I've seen it on 3 occasions already. Short side, very often the source of some really cheap meters. You're very often on the advantage line, so if they're bashing away in the middle and not getting much, expect them to go short.
Yeah, here's Ellis, made a lively start for Wigan. Tackle just over halfway. Smith gonna send it deep, looking to back up Dagnall inside the 10. Takes it nicely, finds the pass, and now Wellesby. A wall of cherry and white in front of him. Decent enough set from Wigan.
Yeah, good set, good finishing position, and again, some decent line speed. Oh, that's a good carry though. That's a carry full of energy.
Here is McDonald. Walmsley. Clark scoops off out of dummy half, looking for a runner outside him, doesn't find one, tries to bump off Farriman. That's good, easy meters for Darrell Clark. And St Helens on the last one. Oh, not the best pass. Hastings did really well to take that in. Field waits inside the 10, he'll collect it. In the end, Hastings did well there. That could have gone wrong.
Yeah, he did. It wasn't great service, was it, from dummy half? But I think it was almost a one-handed catch that brought it under control. And once again, they finish in a great position. Eckersley does his best to try and get him out of trouble. Now comes Nathan Lowe.
Scored that great try, didn't he, against Hull Kingston Rovers when the youthful Wigan went to the Robins a week before the cup final. Here now is O'Neill, gets it away to Farriman. Farriman will pick his spot over on the far side, and that's a beautiful touch finder behind the former Wigan man, Jacob Douglas.
Just a really smart, controlled set of 6. You know, it's the backs getting in, really giving the forwards a break. It's been a really high intensity opening 8 or 9 minutes of this game. So the backs get in, inject a little bit of pace around the ruck. Jack Farriman on the Harry Smith rather on the front foot, and just bobs it in the corner. 95-metre set, really smart stuff.
What a great sight that is. This stadium full, fans from every club. They want to sense, they want to feel what it's like. All the talk about this derby match, they want to sense it for themselves, and that's what they're doing now. Right, let's head down to pitch side then and find out all about that atmosphere with Jenna Brooks.
Mark, I can tell you I've been to every single Magic since 2014, and I have never witnessed an atmosphere quite like this. We had Brian telling everybody before this one that they've announced that Magic will be back here at the Hill Dickinson Stadium next year, and I tell you what, it is a fantastic call because this is next level. Incredible, a record crowd as well. Almost 83,000 people have watched Magic Weekend over these past 2 days, and I tell you what, I'm in. I love it here.
Yeah, I think you're not the only one, Jenna. There's now a decision has gone against St Helens here. Ball with Hastings, and there's a showing in there from Farriman. Ball comes out, and now there's going to be a challenge here. Let's hear about this one with Chris Kendall.
Right there, the catch challenge. St Helens challenges the on-field rule giving knock-on.
So they are going to challenge this one then, John.
Yeah, I think they've got a decent case as well, haven't they, the replays that you showed. And it's, if Adam Kieran doesn't get him high, Jack Farriman certainly does. So he's rattled between 2 or 3 challenges. Kieran appears in a hurry. That's not going to show it, but I think Jack Farriman, look, if the first one isn't from Kieran, the second one really is from Jack Farriman.
Well, they've seen that here. Well, there is contact with the head.
It's almost like a ricochet, though, Mark. He's not tried to clean out Jackson Hastings, has he? He's kind of almost ricocheted into him. I don't think this will be judged as forcible or dangerous. I think you're probably going to see a penalty, which is, look, I think it's befitting some of the challenges we've already seen and the intensity of this game. This will be a successful challenge, I'm sure.
Yeah, well, it was worth the challenge then, wasn't it, from St Helens. Means they keep the ball. Poor Oli looks on. Well, he didn't look happy with that outcome, did he? Maybe he was looking for more retribution against the Wigan man.
Yeah, look, your opinion is going to change depending on which camp you sit in. I just think in the context of the game, that's not enough, I don't think, for a card.
Well, here goes Walmsley with a bulldozing run. 15 out, quick play of the ball. Here come the Saints now. Looking, McDonald injects himself into the game, 5 metres out. 6 again, called by Chris Kendall. Some more pressure here, and Saints at the moment are on top. Can they make it pay? Clark looks left but comes right. Here's Hastings now at the back to Saylor, and there comes Lowe racing off the wing, gets his man and needed to as well. Shorrocks finds Walmsley, and they're set about him, the Wigan forwards, and upend him 10 out right in front of the sticks. Ball now will go to the left. Hastings out the back to Welsby. Welsby trying to slide across, but he's tackled. 5 out. It's not the best pass. It bounced kindly for Shorrocks. Once again, St Helens just losing their way a little bit here with ball in hand. What can they do now? Saylor gets it to Robertson. Robertson going to be tackled here by Wardle. Last one. Saylor has it. He will find Hastings. They're going to kick across again to McDonald. McDonald up against Kieran. Ball batted back. Welsby gets it, but there's cherry and white everywhere he looks. Saints are appealing that was touched by a Wigan hand in flight, but Wigan survive. Did St Helens ask enough questions there? Well, here we go. They are going to ask a question.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, and they're going to persist with this, aren't they? They're going to keep sticking it on the head of Adam Kieran.
Well, this is all about who gets a finger on this kick. Did Adam Kieran get a touch on it?
Well, I think good luck unpicking that with 3 sets of hands in there.
I think it maybe touches his fingers there, John. You just see the ball as it comes out. Does it touch his fingers there? That's what they'll be looking at.
There's 30 fingers in the frame, Mark. I'm not sure we're going to be able to figure out which one
of
gets
them's got
first.
a big bandage on it, John. It belongs to Adam Kieran, and he touched it. Here we go. Another successful St Helens challenge. So I'll ask you the question again, John Wells. Are St Helens doing enough with the ball in hand?
Well, they're putting themselves in really dangerous positions. What they are doing is there's a lax pass, isn't there, in a couple of sets now that we've seen, and it really disrupts the rhythm of that Saints attacking lineup. They've got a potential shot on here. The spread to the right and deep.
Here's Clemmer. Will take it in. Another go at the line. Wigan defending. Here's Hastings now. Ball to Saylor to juggle. Just when it looked like there might be something on, he didn't take it cleanly. But now another penalty, a hit off the ball.
And they're spending a fair amount of time now in this part of the field, and it's Junior and Sember who decides to follow through on the tackle on Jackson Hastings after the ball has gone. Well, maybe that's a reflect. Well, there's a number of things it could be. The shot for two. It is, look, a respect for the occasion, a respect for the opposition and how difficult it's been with the amount of possession they've had to score points, or recognition that this is not a particularly fluid-looking attacking setup that we've seen so far. We've had bobbled balls, we've had dummy half passes hitting the deck. So if there's two on option and Jackson Hastings is a sharp shooter with a boot, they'll take him.
Yeah, fancy his chances of opening his tally here. 76% the strike rate this year for Jackson Hastings. We saw him earlier talking to James Tarkowski about how he does it. So we know the routine, but what's the outcome? That's the angle he's got. For an early lead on Derby Day at the Magic Weekend. No mistake from Jackson Hastings. The Wigan fans down that end pretty quiet. Hastings gives Saints the advantage, and given on balance of play, they probably deserve to be in front.
Yeah, look, they've enjoyed a whole heap of possession. Spent plenty of time in that area of the field, and if there's just that sense amongst the playing group, the senior players, that things aren't quite clicking, they're not quite in flow, then take the points that are offered and make that visit count for something.
It's Wigan Warriors nil, St Helens 2.
Yeah, they'll be a little bit disappointed there, Wigan, with December's actions, because again they look quite comfortable defensively. All regathered on the far side, and here comes Walmsley.
We talked about the possession in the opening quarter hour or so. Look at that, St Helens, 2/3 of possession, a few more meters, and play the balls in the opposition 20. Look, 2 full sets, the equivalent of 2 full sets. So I think it was imperative they came away with something, and if they didn't feel it, and they weren't feeling it, then 2 points is fine. They're now deep into the set after points. I like the fact Jack Welsby's getting his hands on the ball. He's involved in the game.
It's a good play of the ball as well. Clark busy out of dummy half. Samba rattles him to the ground. Last one. Saylor having to step over a player. He's going on his own. He needs to come up with a play, and he does. Gets it away to Dagnall. Dagnall's kick. Did he collect it? I think he was over the sideline when he touched it anyway. It was an impromptu play on the last tackle, and Saylor almost came up with a bit of magic.
Oh, really smart play, wasn't it? And the judge here has got to be, is Nathan Lowe playing at that ball? I think if you're coming towards a tackle, you're playing at the ball. I don't think it's been given, and this is going to be Wigan ball, but...
Yeah, you're good there. Okay, go.
You make a very good point there, John. Oh, it won't matter anyway. Here come the Saints. Big chance. Why didn't McDonald pass?
Should have passed to Dagnall.
Well, Dagnall would have had a stroll in. Wigan shooting themselves in the foot. The error from Kieran, and now they have it with Shorrocks. Here's Welsby. A slip there, a stumble. Clark to Shorrocks, to Walmsley. He's lost it. He's lost it. And another massive chance goes begging. But was the best chance of that initial knock on? Was the pass on?
Yeah, look, I think Denny McDonald's just got to find Owen Dagnall. This is the back end of it where Al Walmsley loses possession, never really takes it cleanly, does it? He just fell awkwardly into the tackle and pressure relieved again. But there's a number of things happening now on this field that suggest to me that points are coming.
Yeah, let's head down to pitch side then with Jenna Brooks.
Yeah, I can tell you some of the players are struggling out there in terms of slipping. We've just seen Tristan Saylor now change his boots because he's been slipping over. Alex Walmsley slipped as well. David Clemmer did also. Success, though. Tristan Saylor has now got a new pair of boots on.
Good stuff.
Still tying them up, Mark.
He is. He's done well. Here's Eckersley. Well, Wigan, despite barely having any of the possession, only 2 in arrears, I think they'll be pretty happy with that thus far. Here's Havard, slips away initially.
Saints have got to really watch that pre-line stuff from Wigan. Wigan are very good at that. They go up, the pre-line stuff can really put pressure on defenders who switch off.
That's a great carry from the youngster. McDermott gets his side up to halfway. Here's Smith, looking for a spiralling kick. Pressure on here. Oh, he just held on to that Dagnall. He just held on. He was one eye on the touchline as well, and that was awkward.
Yeah, he done well in the end because he didn't look all that confident, and the ball hung around in the air for a while. Again, Saints having to fight and scrap for every single metre here. Again, Welsby on the ball. This is a good sign for Saints.
Oh, this is a great run. He's got support with Dagnall. Full back to beat. Welsby taken to ground, but a great run from Jack Welsby. He's subject to some criticism, but that was brilliant. Here's Saylor pondering the kick. He was pondering for too long. Saints once again inside the 20. Last tackle. Are they going to go down the short side here? Is Welsby, too much on it, and it rolls through, and that'll be a 20-metre 7-tackle restart.
Yeah, look, I like it though. I think the break to start with was pretty special, wasn't it? Oh dear me.
Yeah, now Welsby from hero to villain.
What do you want me to do?
Trying to stop the quick restart, I believe, and he's going to the bin for 10 minutes. His head in his hands. He made the great break. Saints don't finish it off, and now they commit the professional foul, and Chris Kendall had no hesitation in sending him to the bin.
Yeah, it's the right decision. Perhaps Chris Kendall not in the spirit of Magic Weekend. Jack Welsby was operating a catch and keep policy, but he's denied Jay Field from getting that back to the 20. And look, having put together a masterful sequence of play just to drift across and then scythe through that Wigan defence, goes and undoes all that hard work, and this is a really crucial period now. 10 minutes without the fullback. Saylor moves back into that position. He's familiar with that position, isn't he, Saylor? But the gaps are going to be just that little bit wider now for Wigan.
That was madness. Absolute madness from Welsby. In a game of this magnitude, decisions like that can have big consequences. Here's Ellis again. O'Neill. Oh, Farriman went without it. They just can't hang on to it. That picture told everything from Matt P.
Yeah, because he knew it was an opportunity. It was an opportunity to start to write this possession and territory stat that we showed you earlier, and they've just given it up. Just on Jack Welsby, I don't know whether that was a cynical attempt or just a reaction to a frustration in putting a poor kick in, a poor end to a set. Either way, he's sat down and he'll be there for another 8.5 minutes.
Yeah, third time this year he's been sent to the sin bin. It's one of the things that are heavily policed, though, isn't it? You know, any other... If that ball had gone out of play, for instance, and he'd have done that, he probably gets away with it. But on a restart, when teams are trying to turn it around quickly, he's going to get punished.
Yeah.
Changes being made. Delaney into the action.
Nice start from Saylor, just taking the yards that are on offer.
Clark, Shorrocks, Hastings with a little show. He gets away. No support, no one to pass it to again. Saints break through, but again they can't finish the move. They've got one tackle left here. Ball will work its way to Saylor. Stands up the kick, collected by Wigan, but they're collected in goal. Nenny MacDonald with a tackle.
Yeah, look, Farriman did absolutely everything he could. The kick was really smart. Just a little wedge, a lofted wedge, and Farriman, that's all he can do is to make the ball safe, and they're going to concede, well, potentially another set of 6. Will they go short here and try and recover the ball? Smart work from Tristan Saylor.
Smith taking his time, counting down the clock. Drops out, will land inside Saints territory. Brought forward now by Delaney.
I'll tell you what, Saints don't lose any punch to when Al Walmsley goes off and George Delaney comes on. His first carry was a good one. Here's Clemmer. Been playing a lot of minutes for Saints recently.
Hastings turns it back underneath. Inside the 20 again. They've taking up residence in this part of the field, but they've no tries yet to show for it. Here's Saylor. Saylor gets it across. Robertson hit hard, danger. Wardle pounced upon it, gets it away to Field. Field steps away from Shorrocks.
Crucial tackle. Crucial tackle from Darrell Clark. Some really smart play from both sets aside. The danger's not over yet.
It's not over, and here goes Farriman racing away. Eckersley with him. Ball goes out wide to Kieran. Smash and grab for the Warriors. Length of the field break, and the Robertson dropped it. And there's the goal shot. Kieran at the Masters just comes up with a master play. Wigan in front by 4 points to 2.
Well, the transition here was special. Wigan Warriors on the defensive. Nathan Lowe, I think it was, who came in with a good defensive read. Ball goes free. Jake Wardle finds Jay Field. And in a blink of an eye, Harry Smith has fired a ball across the field. Yeah, Nathan Lowe in on Harry Robertson. Jake Wardle to Jay Field. Jay Field very nearly away. That was a crucial tackle, but it only delayed the inevitable. Look at the width that Harry Smith gets on this. Just strips Nene McDonald, puts Farriman into the backfield, and it's just a case of holding, and commit Owen Dagnall to let Adam Kieran through. He scores in the corner. He sets one end of this stadium alight. And we've been waiting for this game to just ease up a little bit and open a little bit. Well, we can do that in their most dramatic of fashions.
What about his golf swing? Pretty decent. Not bad at all. Enjoyed that one. Been great to see all the celebrations this weekend. Now, can he really put a smile on the Wigan fans' faces by adding this one from out wide? A metre in from touch, about 24 out. Just to put a bit of salt into the St Helens wound, and that is exactly what he does. A great try and a great conversion to go with it. 6 points to 2. Who wants the ball? Give it to the little kid. Oh, hang on. What's going on there? Wakefield got the win today, now they're taking the ball home as well.
Well, let's just look again. Adam Kieran finishes really well, but that try was made at the other end of the field. Nathan Lowe with the hit. Found Field, brought down, but that pass from Harry Smith to his half-back partner, just an absolute expert at finding and locking space on the field. St Helens, well, they could do nothing about it. And Wigan, in the shape of Adam Kieran, take the lead. Wellesby still in the bin, remember. St Helens are down to 10. That defensive line was one man short. Here goes Mago, big collision.
Yeah, well, they were cut open there. Oh, ball spilled, Partington hit hard. Saints will get it back, despite the fact they couldn't pounce upon it. And Partington, who's been so good, comes up with a loose carry. What a shot from Clark.
It's absolutely textbook from Darrell Clark. He was responsible for halting the Wigan break through Jay Field. That's a better challenge, I feel. Dislodged the ball right underneath the ball. And just created another moment, another opportunity for St Helens.
What's their mindset? We've had 25 minutes, they've had an awful lot of ball, and as yet they've not done anything with it. Can they produce something here with Hastings?
Yeah, I mean, they're going to have to go some, aren't they, with 12 men and missing one of their main attacking weapons. Just spend time down here. That's the thing. That's the short-term goal. Maybe get a repeat set, chew another minute or two up, and get Jack Wellesby back on the field.
Yeah, here's Clark. A response well down to 12 would be useful. Clemmer got bounced but got it away. Here now is Wright. Wright slipped. Another one slipping on this luscious surface here. Robertson finds Clark. He gets it to Clemmer. Well, they've got numbers to the left here, and that's where they're going now with Hastings. Ball back on the inside. They're in! Perfect response! Jake Davis crashes over to score, levels up the match. Just like that, down to 12. Saints are on the ball.
They are not hanging around and marking time, waiting for Jack Wellesby to get back. They're having none of it. Jake Davis, inside ball. Boy, this kid's got some strike rate. Jake Davis, 11th appearance, 6th try of the season, really announced himself as a first grader in 26. Down to 12 men. Positive play. That's a nice adjustment by Jackson Hastings. Just saw Wigan Warriors front rower switching off, just a break in the stride. And that's a great finish. Such a physical player. He's a long, rangy athlete. And boy, he enjoyed that.
He almost forgot to do his celebration. He was that excited. Paul Rowley will feel a little bit happy, but he's still getting messages down. Lee Breers relaying the message of the coach. Saylor, meanwhile, is looking to put Saints back in front. And the kick is a good one. So no damage done then with Welsby in the bin. He'll be back on during the next set. Davis try gives St Helens the lead again.
Yeah, it's as you were in terms of the difference in the scoreboard. Wigan and St Helens exchanging tries. By the way, just a bit of housekeeping there. Jackson Hastings picks up his 22nd try assist of the season. How valuable a pickup has he been for Saints this season?
Yeah, he has.
Oh, God.
You're all right there, John.
Just the collision. Brett Delaney just taking that line on with absolutely no regard for his own safety.
George hit hard. Here is the new boy. Drives it forward here. Another big collision, another big groan. And now a penalty. December and Mago.
You can challenge if you think it's rubbish.
So they were innocent. But Chris Kendall said, look at this. His legs were lifted, and that's the problem for Junior December.
Yeah, it's great technique, isn't it? But then just takes it a touch too far. Nothing more than a penalty. And by the way, we've got Jack Welsby prowling the touchline now.
Be relieved his teammates have got him out of a spot of bother there. Here he is, 13 on 13, and now he's going to get a chance to get his hands on the ball. Saylor finds a willing runner. Hastings finds Delaney, who gets folded there. Ethan Havard. Shorrocks to Saylor, to Robertson. Robertson, did McDonald.
Yeah. No, he's got through the line, McDonald, it's fine. Look, tell you what, he never delivers anything other than 100%. And Havard it was who gave it the beans there. Misdirected pass again.
Wright did well. That could have gone wrong quite quickly for St Helens. He didn't panic. Here's Saylor again, probing. Can he find an offload? One-handed pass, gets it away, and then McDonald. McDonald with some dancing feet inside the 20. Good run. Really good run. This is the last one. Saints looking for another score. Hastings reaches, catches, finds Saylor. Saylor running out of room, gets it to Robertson. Robertson is going to be tackled a couple of metres out from the line. That'll be the turnover.
Yeah, you feel like they wanted something a little bit more challenging for the Wigan Warriors on that last tackle. Yeah, they turn it over in a great part of the field, and they're allowed to do this now. Ramp up in defence. And maybe ask another couple of questions.
Look at that. 24-0. Play the balls in the opponent's 20.
You look, and a 2-point ball game, so you surmise from that Wigan are the happier side.
Kieran hit hard. Luca Fafita in at the tackle. Saints' new signing. As here forward goes Havard.
Good carry.
Brad O'Neill waits. He's looking to get it away to Smith. Smith into the line. The Saints defence converge on him. Nice one. They'll go back here to Farriman. Farriman sends it towards the near side. Welsby scrambles across, collects it on the full. He's going to head off in field. He's met about 12 off his own line. And Saints get their hands back on the ball. Now then, an error, an incorrect play of the ball. Welsby, it's going back to us.
He got a fair bit of contact, put on his back, he's played it sideways. Well, look, you know, you can't argue with it, can you? You know, I've got a feeling Jack Welsby is gonna blow this game open. He's been so close, hasn't he? Brilliant mercurial run, and then a couple of indiscretions. He's the type of player who can just come and shut us all up with a match-winning play.
Yeah, well, he's making the highlights reel at the moment, and not all for the right reasons. Here's O'Neill. Wigan, their first play of the balls in this part of the field. Here goes Mago. Well, they scored on their solitary attack. Are they about to score again? Here's Smith, bodies out the back for Field. Field with a dummy, good scramble. Good work there. Delaney. Here now Smith. Finds Ellis, just stands, contemplates his options. And now he's going to get a penalty. Offside against St Helens. And this very much in kickable range. Should Adam Kieran choose to have a shot at goal?
It looked like Hastings gets up really quick, doesn't he? And then McDonald potentially offside as well. They're going to run it. I'm surprised at that.
Well, this is a statement. We've not been down this end for a while, so we're here. May as well make it count. Mago held up in the tackle. Finds O'Neill. He finds Ellis. Ellis put to ground a couple of metres short of the try line. They've got numbers either side of the ruck. Wigan. They're coming left with Smith. Smith fires it to Wardle, puts it down. Did it go backwards? Referee's not blown his whistle. He says play on. And now a penalty here. Now, is this for the hit on Ward?
Yeah, it's Dagnall. It's going to be Dagnall on Wardle, and I think it's, you know, again, by the letter of the law, he has been hit off the ball, but I don't, you know, Dagnall's committed to the tackle, isn't he? Maybe it's the second effort that draws the penalty. Yeah, maybe it's the flop that draws the penalty.
Well, here's Junior December. Wigan could get back in front here. Matty Pete will be delighted. O'Neill finds Havard, slips past the first defender but not the second.
Darrell Clark again.
Set restart here for Wigan. Big opportunity, Farriman pounced upon there. 10 out from the line. Kieran will find O'Neill. Gets it away to Mago. Mago looking to get the arm free. Once again, he stands in the tackle, having trouble dealing with him, and O'Neill out the dummy half. Great scramble there. He's over the line, but I'm not sure he's going to get it down. But O'Neill on the back of Mago being allowed to stand in the tackle is causing problems.
Right, yeah, he's just a terrier as well, isn't he? It's a quick play, the ball catches Saluka Fafita flat-footed, and very nearly it's Jake Davis who ends up locking the ball up. There's a stoppage in play here because there's a couple of players getting treatment. Saluka Fafita and Darrell Clark who reeled out awkwardly, and you can see why he's got his beak opened up a little bit.
There's a bit of blood there. O'Neill so close to putting Wigan back in front. Here he is. Great effort from Davis. Real good strength as well.
Yeah, just an absolute clamp on the ball. He's not allowing Brad O'Neill anything. This allows the players just to get a bit of oxygen back in the lungs. It has been played at a frenetic pace this. We're over half an hour in. There hasn't been too many stoppages in play. They've been going toe-to-toe with one another.
Well, Darrell Clark is coming off the field here with a head injury. Saluka Fafita's getting bandaged up. Well, there's plenty of blood there, and there's plenty of bandage there. So, on into the action comes Jacob Host for St Helens. This is a big spell in this match. There's also a Wigan player coming off here as well. Ethan Havard has been replaced.
Well, that's an HIA as well, isn't it?
Yeah, Lucas Mason has come on. So a couple of head injury assessments, one for either side. Well, we said it was a physical, confrontational game. That's not a good pass, but it's well picked up by Partington. Been a few passes gone awry, haven't they? Key moments in this game. Here's Clark. Gets it to Smith. Finds Ellis. 11 out. The game on a knife edge. Partington to Smith. Smith to Field. Field out wide. Chance here. But the door firmly closed. No way through for Nathan Lowe. And he's dumped over the sideline by Saints.
It's such a good recovery from St Helens because they got it all wrong in the first instance. Harry Robertson goes hunting for Junior Nsemba. I think he responds so well, but there's been an injury in this tackle. There's a player down. It is Nathan Lowe who's receiving treatment. Yeah, and he looks in a fair bit of discomfort, Will.
Yeah, and what I will say, John, players of both teams there were quick to point out the referee's attention there. The St Helens players were well aware that that was a problem. And despite the fact it is a brutal Derby Day match, there's still respect for the opponent, and we hope this is not as bad as it looks for the youngster. But the medics are with him now. The two teams huddle up.
Yeah, look, the signal has come already that this is going to be a substitution, so there's going to be a change for Wigan. Yeah, the play itself was really well constructed and really bent St Helens out of shape. And if you've got Junior Nsemba on a lead line, you have to account for him. Harry Robertson does so well to recover. Let's take a look at the tries. This is the Wigan Warriors' first one, Adam Kieran. And just a combination between the two halves. And I think more than anything, just the speed of transition from defence to attack was breathtaking. Kieran with the first. St Helens responded through Jake Davis. A cute inside ball from Jackson Hastings, who picks up his 22nd try assist of the year. Davis is 6th of the season. We have one of our camera operators. Good on you, Carl.
Yeah, the marathon man.
He normally keeps that under wraps, doesn't he, the Saints shirt, but he's off duty, so we won't hold it against him.
Nathan Lowe still down. This is a worrying moment. Matt Pete, already without so many first-team players, is going to have to now reshuffle on the run here. This does not look good. He's going to be helped from the field, and crowd, as they always do, respecting these Warriors, these players of all clubs that take to the field, and that's nice to see the Saints players and fans applauding as well.
Yeah, that really doesn't look good, in a fair bit of bother. Well, look, our best wishes for Nathan Lowe. A couple of nice touches, particularly in defence in this first half. And I hope that is not as serious as it looks.
Well, he can barely move here.
I don't know why they're trying to walk him, to be honest.
Why? Yeah, I'm going to say that. I know no player likes to be held on a stretcher, but maybe that's the best thing for him. Looks distraught as well. His big chance snatched away by injury. Here comes some big carries and some big collisions. It's a big 5 minutes, isn't it, going into the break? Looks like Wardle's moved on to the wing for now for Wigan. I'm just wondering here. I know he's off the field here, the young lad, Nathan Lowe, but I think they need to get a stretcher to him here. I
think they've got to stop the game here. Well, the game's going to continue. Let's focus on the action for now.
Yeah, here's Hastings, kicks downfield. It's a kick straight to Jay Field. He'll bring it back over the 20. Up to the 30 he comes, and I think the stretcher now has been summoned for Nathan Lowe's afternoon. Is going to end in the most unfortunate of circumstances. Here's Nsemba.
Oh, strong carry, strong defence. There's more trouble. Jake Shorrocks came out of that one second best. Jay Field on the ball now. Boy, that was a big collision between Nsemba and Shorrocks.
Certainly was. Here now is the young substitute, Shea O'Connor. Now here's Smith. Sends it high. Tackle. Oh, wow! Dagnall absolutely smashed. And now Chris Kendall is going to stop play. Not because of that, because that incident is happening right near where Nathan Lowe is being on a stretcher. It's all going off here.
Yeah, just too close, and the referee's made the right call there. Dagnall's in a fair bit of bother as well. There was some real mustard on that shot. It was a well-timed tackle. It's where the contact is. The time off is not to look at that just yet. The time off is to make sure that Nathan Lowe gets the best care and he gets unencumbered care, that he's not going to be interfered with or knocked or bumped by any of the action on the field, because it is happening, as you said, in real proximity. In the meantime, Owen Dagnall is being assessed. It was a really heavy collision, wasn't it? Trying to sit back up. Well, if you've got Junior and Sember all 6'5" and careering towards you, you've got to be brave, and Dagnall was.
He had to take his medicine there, and it didn't have a particularly nice taste to it, did it? Absolutely poleaxed. Can you imagine? You'd have to leave the field here. No, is there anything in this?
Oh.
Bang.
So it's Partington, and I think that's okay. Is there maybe a head clash there with Partington and Dagnall? It's such a brave take, is that, you know? Two of the fiercest members of the opposition.
There he is.
Yeah,
that's going on report. I'm with you. I think there might have been a head clash in that.
So head on head goes on report. Look, it is your responsibility to avoid the head of the opponent. It's a cracking hit.
Well, he's bleeding as well.
Well, it's not been short of incident, has it, this game? Not been short of quality, but it has been played at an intensity that befits two of Super League's heavyweights.
You can always tell how good the final game is by the numbers that stay in the stadium to watch it. And there's still plenty in here.
Look, just to keep you abreast, there's an extended stoppage in play because Nathan Lowe, his condition looked to have deteriorated. He's now being treated by the medics. He is still pitch side, and there is a stretcher on. Look, he has been well attended, and there are plenty of people.
Right, I've just confirmed we can't carry on the game when there's a bloke who looks in a real bad way on the stretcher at the side. So we're going to have to wait. We'll give him as long as they need, all right? We're obviously now got to stop it.
There you go, John, and you're right. And the ambulance service is there around him, and I think they're just working out how they're going to remove him from the field of play. And he does look a little bit more mobile. We would say that about the young man.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, you know, many of Nathan Lowe's family and friends are going to be in the stadium. For those who are not, let us assure you, he is receiving the best care and attention. Both medical teams, members of the ambulance service, and the break is enforced, but it's absolutely the right thing to do to make sure that he gets exactly the care that he needs.
Yeah, plenty to discuss from the first half so far. Let's hear from Brian Carney.
You're not wrong, Mark. Thanks very much. Sam Tompkins, Joe Wilkin here. I mean, it has been frenetic, chaotic in that first 36 minutes here.
Yeah, carnage, absolute carnage at the start of the game. What we expected, frantic, aggressive, everything you want from a derby. Unfortunately, we have copped an injury there. Nathan Lowe, hopefully, it's not as serious as it may look right now.
Yeah, it's been an unbelievable game, hasn't it? The quality's been exceptional. The physical aspect of the game has just delivered in the final game of Magic.
Back to you, boys.
Yeah, just gone down the tunnel, Nathan Lowe. And our thoughts are with him. The action continues. Blood and thunder of the Wigan Saints derby. And there's Humphreys into the action. Gets it away. Here's Saluka Fafita. Carries it. Good carry as well. What an eventful half we have had. Is there a late twist as Hastings sends it downfield? J. Field Weiss gets it away. He gets the ball offloaded. And Wardle, who's now on the wing, he will take the first carry.
Yeah, Zach Eckersley now with the second. He's well met, though, isn't he? By a number of Saints players. George Delaney at the forefront again. Kieran, who's becoming a real asset for them out of backfield. So strong, isn't he?
Yeah, he certainly is. Here now goes O'Connor. Up and over the halfway line he goes. And either side poach an advantage. Smith wrapped up Shot in the back there. Cade Ellis has gone down with a knock. He's hobbling around. Farriman sends it downfield. Over on the far side. Saints get up high. They're appealing for contact in the air, but I think on that occasion the Wigan chase was spot on the money.
Yeah, it was. Referee, you heard the referee just shout down, and the instant later he was hit by Kieran. Robertson tries to find an out on the outside of Nsemba. Wigan are having none of it.
Split second, isn't it? Those catches now so keenly contested. Humphries gets it away to Host. He'll play it now. Hastings thought about the pass, held on to it. Mason involved. Wellesby. Last one. Wigan will get one set, assuming they can deal with this Hastings kick. It's a floated kick, a high kick. Wardle will come forward, collects it on the 20.
Looked really comfortable, didn't he? But I've been really impressed with the Saints' kick chase line speed. They look full of running, full of energy. Here comes Nsemba, another trademark run from him.
Well, there's been plenty going on the field and off it. Let's head down to pitch side then with Jenna to find out what's been going on.
Yeah, Mark, disturbing scenes, wasn't it, with Nathan Lowe there. I can tell you that he's basically ruptured his hamstring, and every time they tried to carry him off while he was in the upright position, his blood pressure kept dropping, hence why he kept passing out. So thankfully they've now removed him from the pitch, the side of the pitch, I should say. He's being assessed, but best wishes to him. Hopefully it's a speedy recovery. Also, I can tell you Dagnall Shorrocks, just after that, they've both come off for an HIA. They'll be given an extended time because there's two from St Helens that have are being assessed at that time. So they'll be given a little bit longer.
Okay, high kick, Sailor underneath it. And just a couple of tackles left in what has been blood and thunder. Just what we expected. A battle for a place in the top four. That's destined to go all the way to the wire here. As Wellesby just gets it away. There's plenty for both coaches. They've both lost players, still there. Oh, just as the hooter went, what a play that could have been from Shea O'Connor. But the siren says Douglas. Paul Rowley heads off to the dressing room here. What a first half. Matt Peat and Paul Rowley with plenty to ponder at half-time. Plenty of injuries to overcome. Kieran Strye gave Wigan the early advantage after Hastings' early penalty. But it was Jake Davis who dived over to say at the break, it's the Saints who lead the Warriors by 8 points to 6. And we hope, of course, Nathan Lowe, that horrendous injury, is okay. All right, we are about to get underway. Wigan in the cherry and white. Will we have the same histrionics off the kickoff? There is Matt Peat. You know, don't worry, Matt, you've not missed anything. We're underway. The second half. Here's Delaney, smashed hard by Mason.
How good is it? How good is that first collision? They're up and about, the Wigan Warriors. And they've come out the blocks. They may be slow out of the dressing room, but they're not slow off the line. Contact again with Saluka Fafita midway through the count, still inside the 20, Saints.
There they are, looking to work their way out of trouble. Here's Jacob Host. Stands in the tackle. That allows Clark. Well, that's one of the questions answered, isn't it? Because Clark went off with a HIA. He's back. So everybody, we understand, that went off for a HIA has passed. So they're all good to go as Field is engulfed by St Helens chasers.
It's a great kick chase, isn't it? It really is. Jake Wardle nearly picked Saints' pockets on the short side.
Oh, now then, the Saints player has gone flying out of that tackle. And what happened there? It's Dagnall who's gone down. Well, Dagnall, of course, got that big shot on his face in the first half, and he's looking potentially an accidental head clash. There's O'Connor. Last one for Wigan. Here is Smith. Wrong foot's Wellesby. And it'll bobble all the way to the post. Hits the post. And Wellesby will bring it back, and he's tackled 15 off his own line.
Yeah, this is the incident that happened with Owen Dagnall, and it's Jake Wardle who throws the elbow back, and he connects with Owen Dagnall, not picked up by the referees.
Well, if it's not bad enough getting flattened by Nasemba and Partington, he's now had an elbow off Wardle as well.
Short side again. Said they picked this a few times in the first half. It's a source of easy meters.
It is, and he's done well there to stay in the field of play, hasn't he, Davis? He's a player who's growing in reputation. Here now, Wellesby fires a pass to Hastings, gets it away to Saylor, moves it to Robertson. Robertson tackled. Last one. Saylor will send it high. It's got no depth on the kick. Will Wigan let this bounce? They will. It bounces straight up in the air and straight to a St Helens player. Now the little grubber kick through. Nobody chasing it. Now they're chasing it. Delaney might get on the end of it. Fanneman's looking to knock it dead. He still hasn't got it dead. What is he doing here? Get the ball out of play. But they'll come back. I think Delaney who's got the first knock on. And that was all. Much ado about nothing.
That's a big scramble, wasn't it? I think initially Saylor had been spooked by Nsemba. Just a collision there, and that's the knock on. There'll be a challenge going on here. A challenge going in, rather.
Yeah.
We're going to challenge an on-field ruling of a knock-on. They're claiming there's been foul play on field.
Right, so let's have a look at this. Harry Smith is just trying to clarify what the situation is here. Now, it all came about after Wigan let the ball bounce here. It was then picked up, and there's the kick. Well, you'd argue that's a fair tackle. Well, there's a fair challenge there.
Well, I think Nsemba knows what he's doing. The ball had already been dropped on the toe. There's nothing there that I think Saints are going to challenge in that particular collision. And then, of course, I think this is the only thing really that's potentially under scrutiny. Well, I don't know. I'm not sure Junior Nsemba. It's really tight, isn't it? So Nsemba's actually gone down to start making the tackle as Shane Wright has dropped the ball onto the toe. Well, yeah. Toss a coin here.
I think they'll let that go, John. I think that's going to go through. And then what we're going to look at is how the ball propelled forward off Delaney. So they've cleared everything up to this point. And they're looking here now. Does Delaney knock that on? It hits him on the leg. Is that a knock on? Well, Field goes down. So now they're looking to see if Jay Field has been hit high.
Well,
is he tackled without the ball?
There's an argument Jay Field has been tackled off the ball, you're right.
Yeah. So all of a sudden...
Who'd be a video referee, eh? So there's all sorts. There's a knock-on if you want it from Jay Field. There's a high shot from Delaney if you want it.
See, on that angle, it looks like there's some contact.
As Jay Field may have touched this ball before Delaney makes contact. It's then a question of whether it's either a knock-on or a high shot. And I reckon that'll be a high shot.
Yeah, I think you are right here. Let's have a look then. Here we go. And the challenge is successful. It is a penalty. Delaney, his enthusiasm there just led to that high shot, split-second stuff. Here's Kieran then. Well, let's try put Wigan in front. Oh, that's come free. That's come free, and that's a knock-on. Wow. First tackle error.
Yeah, look, and I don't think there's any complaints from Adam Kieran either. Loose carry. Went in and first contact under the ball. It puts it in an awkward position, just bobbles around, doesn't it? And comes through on the shoulder. Listen, Jackson Hastings knows exactly what he's doing there because he can feel the ball on his shoulder, so he just applies a bit of pressure. But that goes down as a loose carry, and Saints get let off.
Well, Matt P will not be happy. 41% possession, and you're losing it early in the tackle count. Here is Robertson.
Yeah, I think once you come in contact with Brad O'Neill, it's game over, isn't it? Not many people are getting out of that challenge.
No, it's Delaney again. Clark, Hastings, host. He takes the meters on offer. Saints back in attacking territory again. Here they come now with Wellesby. Turned away. Was that an unfair? Every incident now is drawing reaction from the fans. Just again, the gap opened up, but Wigan were appealing there. There was an obstruction potentially, not given. Last one here. They're going down the short side here with Saylor, gets it away, fired it to Robertson. Robertson held up just short of the line, he's knocked it on.
Yeah, again, good defence, Jake Wardle, and had to be as well. He was on his heels for a second there. Wigan in a hurry. They're in a hurry to get this play back underway.
Yeah, Wigan a player just hobbling in backfield there over on the far side. Wardle it is, making his way back onto the wing. Here's O'Neill, gets it away to O'Connor. He's shown it well, hasn't he?
I was just about to say exactly the same thing. Has done his job, hasn't he? Knows his role, done his job, head down, take meters out of the opposition, get to the end of the set. Farriman goes for a 40-20 here.
He does, and he's got it over the top. Will he get the bounce? No, he doesn't. Oh, a slip there. Almost got costly for Jacob Douglas, but his pace got him out of trouble, as did the bounce of the ball.
Yeah, he's done really well. Jake Douglas lost his footing, but then set off midfield. Stops the Wigan Warriors defence compressing as much. Now Nene McDonald skirts and dodges and tries to find a chink in that Wigan Warriors defence.
Tackle made. Saylor again, they work the short side.
It's worked really well for them.
It has. They do have the lead, albeit a slender one. Robertson pops it up. This goes to ground. Jackson Hastings now. Wellesby. Here's Davis. St Helens try scorer. Gets the ball back to Hastings. He'll send it high. Deep kick. Field waits. Collects it. No room there for any forward movement, and he's tackled 15 off his own line.
Yeah, not much change given there. St Helens now dropping into defensive mode, but they're too keen. They are too keen. They stray offside. Chris Kendall puts them back. Very welcome pressure release for the Wigan Warriors. They just take a step too soon. And Wigan again. This boot of Harry Smith just punches it. Oh, John Wilkin very, very nearly got himself an orange ball, but not quite, John. Hands as good as ever.
What did you make of his cartwheel after? Oh, he hasn't got it.
You can't claim it. You didn't catch it on the full, John.
We're putting a challenge in. He definitely dropped it. Oh, a chance for Wigan here. Here's Taylor Kerr, gets it away to Farriman. Short pass, here's Mason, almost through. He got a hat-trick for Halifax last week, and he thought he was away. Here goes Kerr. Kerr sidestepping his way forward inside the 10. The young guns of Wigan coming to the party here, and the Warriors about to hit the front. Here they go, another one. O'Connor takes it, last one. O'Neill looking around, will find Smith, rolls the kick in for field. Oh, there's Wellesby. Try saver from Wellesby, but look at that, the Wigan young guns pouring forward, piling it on the Saints.
Yeah, just rolled the sleeves up and ticked it up a gear, didn't they? It's a really nice kick, short kick, and the two of the very best fullbacks in the game come together.
Are they going short? Are they going to go short? Hastings just says everyone be onside. No, they're going to go for the safety option. Smith backpedals, catches it inside his own half, and here goes Shea O'Connor, brings it back. Oh my word! O'Connor and Delaney. O'Neill's in having his say, and here we go again. Farriman went in, and all of a sudden we're off again. Derby day. Two young stags going at it. Neither take a backward step, and then we all pile in together.
Well, the shot was absolutely savage. The kick return from Shea O'Connor was full-blooded, and there was a challenge laid down from 20 metres out. Take a look at this. I'm coming for you. And that was a savage hit, a vicious shot. Brad O'Neill takes exception. Darrell Clarke's having none of it. Farriman's in, then all of a sudden, everybody piles in. It's the second time this game. You expect nothing else.
Well,
how good is it?
Darrell Clarke saying, I've just made a great tackle. What's going on here?
It's just a brilliant, from both sides, from O'Connor and from Delaney. It's just like a car crash. Brutal connection, and then everybody, of course, comes in. There's a lot of pushing and shoving, not much else.
Farriman was in quickly, wasn't he? Hastings took care of him.
It's a bit of a firebrand, is Jack Farriman on the quiet, isn't he?
Right, more work for Chris Kendall to do then.
The first offence is a facial, right? Brad O'Neill runs in, right, now listen. Do you want me to sit players down? No. I agree. No, yeah, do you want me to sit players down? Do you want me to sit players down? Right, this is a line in the sand. Any more, sat down.
Well, good luck on the next carry. So first offence is going to be for just some work done after the tackle on Shea O'Connor. Tell you what, your stock's just ridden, young man. It's just that from the left hand of Delaney, and that's what Brad O'Neill takes exception to, and that just sparks and kicks everything off. Now then, here comes a carry.
Yeah. We'll get it away. Here's Ethan Havard back into the action, tackle 20 out. Again, maybe that was in kickable range. They opt not to go for it. They're going for more points. Here's O'Connor again. Kerr. Oh, that wasn't a good pass. Another chance goes begging. Matt Peat looks on. He'll be boiling inside.
Well, I think Hastings did well as well. I think he got right up in the eye line and they're off again.
Oh, here we go. Right, I think he's going to have to send someone to the bin here. No matter. He keeps telling them there's a line in the sand and they keep rubbing that line out.
Well, he said that, so he's got to take action. There's going to be a card, there has to be.
Yeah,
otherwise he loses control of this game.
Yeah, he said he was going to sit them down. There's the hands. There you go. Brad O'Neill is in the bin. Brad O'Neill in the bin. Jackson Hastings is laughing. But I think he's laughing because he knows there's another yellow card coming here. O'Neill gets a sit down.
Is Wellesby going again? Because there was a reaction. Yeah.
Double bubble.
It was the reaction to the afters from Brad O'Neill, and both sides are down to 12. Let's listen to the referee.
I'm a man of my word. If it happens again, I'll just keep sitting players down.
Well, short and sweet from Chris Kendall. He said, I'd draw a line in the sand. He had to back that up, and he has done. 2 players off the field. He says, if it happens again, I'll carry on sitting players down.
Okay, let's go.
There's not, you know, it's Brad O'Neill just again. He plays the game right on the very, very edge, doesn't he? And he stepped over it momentarily. Jack Wellesby's taken exception. You know, Wellesby, who's an 80-minute fullback, is now going to play a maximum of an hour.
Yeah. Oh, look at that. He's not happy. He's not happy at all. Great run from Saints. Clarke. So Luca Fafita finds Saylor. He gets it away to Robertson. Robertson tackled by Nasemba. Well, we've had more cards than tries. Saylor just wandering across the field, gets it away to Hastings. I'm not sure really wanted that pass. Clarke waits, he's off, goes past O'Connor. Couldn't get past Kerr. Mason in there as well. Oh, now he's gone down. He did take a bang, there we go. He got a bang in the first half, so that's not I don't think that's quite as bad as that looks, because he had a big nosebleed in the first half, didn't he?
Open up. Time's been called off again. Do you know, the one thing, I mean, as enjoyable as it is, neither team's able to find any kind of rhythm either. We're stopping the game that often. And Darrell Clarke has already got his nose patched up as it is in the tackle. It's just a stray. It's just a stray arm. And technically, it's a high tackle from Lucas Mason.
Yeah, but also, when his bandage comes out of his nose is going to start bleeding anyway. There, look. Comes out.
Yeah, there's still contact with the head there, as fleeting as it may be. And Paul Rowley is very explicit in what he wants his men to do. What's the count on the Wigan Warriors? How many penalty attempts they've turned down now? 6 potential points?
Yeah, well, yeah.
Paul Rowley's having none of it. 2's been... Oh no, are they going to overrule him? They've overruled the coach.
The boss is not going to be happy here.
Well, they better come up with something.
Unless they score, then he'll be very happy. Floated kick, Kieran gets up high, takes it nicely. Well, of course, the referee has deemed that there was no penalty.
So the 2 wasn't available. It did go on report, though, that tackle. Jake Wardle, now, who's done an awful lot of work, as has Adam Kieran, out the backfield to try and generate some momentum for guys like this. More big contact, more heavy contact.
Here's Junior December. Tell you what, the whole match review panel are going to have a busy day tomorrow. There's another injured St Helens player. Now there's room to play. Kieran comes up, gets it away to Eckersley. Eckersley got support, flooded to the inside, gets it to field. Wigan score. Another breakaway try, executed to perfection, and it's Field who dives in. Seams in the Wigan end. They're back in front on Derby Day.
Right, so good. It's so good how Jay Field just ghosts into position. The build-up play was special. 12 on 12, there's going to be space. Jay Field picks up his 12th for the season. The build-up play was great. Darrell Clarke's in all sorts. He's got a lower limb injury to go with the top. Let's take a look at this now. Hubbard gets the ball out to Farriman. Farriman with a cut-out ball to Kieran into some space. He holds it to the last second. I think Zach Eckersley does really well. But there's an angle that will show Jay Field and just what he does when the break's on. What he does in order to get into position. He's just tracking. The best fullbacks, they just track, just in case, never stop moving, and then find themselves looming up to provide support. In this case, for Zach Eckersley, and in Field's case, for a fantastic try. Look at this. So, Jay Field, middle of your screen, just tracking, following, crossing the halfway line now. Now he realises there's half a chance on, finds himself immediately in the right position, takes possession, and scores a crucial try for the Wigan Warriors in the most dramatic of ways.
Kieran looking to tag on the 2. Should be a formality, and is a formality. And once again, Wigan find themselves 4 points in front. 12 against 12, but now on the scoreboard it's 12 against 8, and someone's happy with themselves. Got themselves a Magic Weekend souvenir.
And again, first half it was Smith to Farriman, second half it's Farriman to Kieran. The service to Eckersley was brilliant. It gave him the space he needed just to draw across Saylor, and the time that Field needed just to get into position. And the Arrow celebration, as we have been seeing all weekend, in support for Jai Arrow, and a nod to what they're doing in the NRL, the great work they're doing in the NRL at the moment to support the former Rooster and the former Bronco.
Yeah, and Darrell Clarke has been helped from the field. He's hobbling badly. He's been helped straight down the tunnel. He's going straight down the tunnel as we speak. And he looks like his afternoon. There he went, just there. Another big problem. We think it's an ankle problem, and it looked a serious one.
Yeah, he looked battered and bruised, didn't he? Short side taken here into the hands of December. December on Harry Robertson. That's a mismatch.
It is, and here's Wardle. The footwork gets him up to halfway. Here's December now. Finds Partington. Partington into Saints territory. Last one. They'll play the ball now. Here's Smith, back to Field. Field's going to send it high. He's going to chase his own kick. He's up against Saylor. Saylor's dropped it, and then they're offside. Oh, no, they're not. It's a penalty the other way. This is interesting from Chris Kendall, and he's saying there was a tackle in the air.
It obstructs Saylor from getting a clean catch.
Yeah, it started off as what Jay Field looked like he was going for the ball, realised he wasn't going to get there, pulls out, and ends up essentially taking Saylor out while he's off his feet.
I think that's a really good call from Chris Kendall.
Yeah, really smart. And can we just say, the Wigan Warriors, since Field try, they have lifted, they have clicked into gear. We've been waiting for one team or another to find some rhythm, to find some flow in what has been a hugely entertaining, really confrontational, but stop-start game as a result. And now we're seeing George Delaney leave the field. And that's accompanied by the doctor, so I can only assume that that's a head injury assessment as well.
Well, it's been a record-breaking weekend at the Magic Weekend, and we've had an awful lot, maybe a record number of HIAs here. It's been brutal, hasn't it? It has been brutal. There's the incident, just got it wrong on Partington. He trudges off. We'll always see him back. Right, let's get down to pitch side then. That Darrell Clark injury didn't look good. What happened, Jenna?
No, it looks terrible. In fact, I watched him get carried and helped down that tunnel. He could not put any weight whatsoever on that ankle, so fingers crossed. It isn't as bad, but I tell you what, it didn't look good.
No, it certainly didn't. Saints, there's another injury now. The Sembers are hurt. Wow, this is some battle here, isn't it? And he's got a problem now, and they're looking to attack that gap where he should be defending. Robertson, alert to the situation, the possible opportunity. This has been crazy. Here's Saluka Fafita. We're approaching the final quarter of the match, and it is still in the balance. Here's Walmsley, gets a big fend on. Gets a big fend on, and again, what a run that was from Walmsley. Gets the Saints on the front foot, and now they go to Saylor. Saylor with the footwork, fires it wide to Robertson. Got away from Wardle, still the last tackle. Here's Saylor, rolls it through. If he'd have looked up, he had Jackson Hastings going in under the sticks. If he could have just put a bit more juice on the kick.
Yeah, just got the angle slightly wrong, didn't he? He had no time to work with, though. It's well tidied up by Harry Smith. This has gone up a notch. We have still over a quarter of this game to go, and it has gone up another level, if that was possible.
Here's Eckersley. And I'll say what I said again. Look around the stadium, everyone's still here. They're still enthralled by the action, and why wouldn't you be? And Junior December's had to leave the field, so another enforced change here. That is not a change they would have been making. How about, oh, it's a horrible pass. Straight at McDermott, nearly took his head off.
Yeah, it's the first thing that Keir McDermott's had to deal with is a terrible pass, no advantage played, so it was a good shot, wasn't it, from Kieran on Jake Davis, but no advantage played, so this will be Saints ball, and Junior Nsemba, who is making his way gingerly down the sideline, will play no further part in this game, I am sure. So that was the pass that Keir McDermott spilled, not his fault, terrible ball. Chris Kendall's the judge that passage of play didn't result in an advantage. I reckon Nsemba's done for the day.
There we go. Oh, he just slipped, didn't he? He slipped there. His leg gave way. Now, that's going to be something that they're going to have to pick up on, because the slip, it was mentioned earlier, wasn't it? The number of players slipping.
Yeah, I think he's just opened his knee up a little bit there, but Saints on the attack now. Offload from Clemmer.
Yeah, Saluka Fafita carries inside the 20. Saints with a big chance now.
Set up left. Look at Saylor.
Yeah, well, Shorrock's in at dummy half, finds Hastings. He's got, oh, short pass, well done. They shot out Farriman there, who's after Saylor, didn't get him. They're 5 away here. St Helens going for the power play with Walmsley. He's wrestling his way. They've got numbers. Jake Wardle screaming for support on the Wigan left-hand side, but they've gone the other way. They've gone to Hastings. Hastings back to Davis. Davis with one already this afternoon. He's going to be denied here. 5 out from the line. Shorrocks gets it away now. They fire it wide to Saylor. Ball over the top of everybody. He nearly gave another ball away. Paul Rowley looks on. Saylor shakes his head. The opportunity was on, but he couldn't find the range on the pass.
Hey, I think he'd seen the right thing. He just overcooked it, didn't he? If that hits Dagnall on the chest, I think that's a really interesting challenge then between him and Jake Wardle. You know, Paul Rowley, well, he rues what might have been. And Wigan, well, they potentially escape here. But just look how fast they switch from attack to defence again. Eckersley hammered in the tackle.
Well, we're about to see the boys return off the naughty boys step. Brad O'Neill and Jack Welsby. There's O'Neill, there's Welsby.
I still feel Welsby's got a part to play in this game, you know. He's been sat down twice. I still think there's a moment of magic from that man.
O'Neill is on, and here's a possible 40-20, but he's hooked it. Oh, he just bounced in the field of play. That was almost a disastrous kick. He's not happy with it as it is, but it could have been worse.
No, it's not. And listen, judging by the metres that St Helens have been making, nowhere near enough length on that kick from Harry Smith. We know what a good kicker he is from hand. But this is going to be a turnover. Midfield, 40 out. Saints should end up with an attacking player at the end of this set.
Back 13 on 13 for now. Quarter of the game to go. Nice carry. Takes Saints over the halfway line. Shorrock's in at dummy half. Here now is Welsby. Gets it to Saylor with running room. Finds Robertson, but he's well met. Saints starting to get a little bit more territory now. Can they level up this match or better? Short pass. Saluka Fafita's abandoned the head bandage. And he's brought down 15 out. They're going now with Shorrocks again. Finds Saylor. Saylor steps out of a tackle. Back to Shorrocks. Saluka Fafita gets it away now. Clemmer to Hastings. Rolls in the kick. Good kick. Many MacDonald after it. Are coming together there. Four players all heartedly going for the same ball. And it bounces off Wigan to safety.
Field and Eckersley had to be so brave. Look at Eckersley's response. He gets back really well and just gets his body in between because Nene MacDonald was hunting. It's a really nice kick from Jackson Hastings and it pops up. And between Field and Eckersley, they make it safe. But for how long? You'd think they'd put as much distance, you know, between this and their own try line. I know the short dropout is on both, but I'd imagine they want to punch this deep.
Yeah, and that's what they'll do. And it's well over halfway. Well taken in the end by Jacob Douglas, the former Wigan youngster. All carried on. Bit of a swing there from Wigan. Havard on the ground. Here now goes Clemmer. He carries it forward.
Two good carries from two of the senior men.
Yeah, who's next? Hastings drops it back for Wright. Wright angles in towards the posts. Shorrocks will find Hastings. Body's in motion. Here's Welsby. Going to be tackled by Farrimond. In there was Mason as well. Ball played to Walmsley. Not really any impetus in his run there. Last one. They're spread out to the right. That's where they're going. Here's Hastings. Going to float the kick out. Wardle's got to get up. Wardle does get up, and he's tackled a metre off his own line.
Yeah, if Hastings could have that again, he'd put a little bit more loft on it and allow his players to potentially challenge. This set of six is going to be really interesting. It's important set of six, I think, this for St Helens. Over the last 5 minutes, they've been enjoying, I think, the most possession and the better position. They've got to be neat and tidy here.
Yeah, they do. Here's Eckersley again. Carries up to the 20. Good Friday saw Saints mount an almighty comeback. It's not quite a big comeback needed in terms of deficit. Just the one try in it at the moment. Smith thumps it downfield. Welsby waits inside the 10. Heads off forward, and here comes Welsby up to the 40. What a return! State of origin number 3 back on Wednesday. Queensland, New South Wales, and then we're back into the next round of Super League. York in form take on Hull FC on Thursday night. Here now, the ball carried forward by Douglas. It's all Saints at the moment. Well, they've still only scored the one try. Was that high? It was. Walmsley's head rocks back, and it's O'Neill again.
Yeah, so Jackson Hastings and letting everybody know. Quick tap, Clemmer gets us underway with the first carry. They can really feel something here now, Saints. They feel Wigan are potentially creaking.
Well, they're bending, but will they break? Here's Saylor. Great defence on that far side. Really good aggressive defence from Partington. Ball now comes back across. Shorrocks will get it away to Host. Host gets it to Welsby. Short pass. They've had so much ball in this area of the field. Can they finally turn it into points? I think they've run behind their own man. They've got to go down, Welsby. He's got to go down. Still got tackles left. They're going to that right-hand side. Here is Saylor. Saylor tries to escape, but can't. Nice one. Hastings waits. Is he going to drop the kick on Kieran's head? No, he puts it in. Oh, it's dropped, it's dropped! Who reacted quickest? Wigan did. Wow, fine margins. Brad O'Neill, right place, right time for the Warriors.
Hearty-mouth stuff for the Wigan Warriors fans. Jayfield takes a snatch at the ball, and for a moment, it's available for Saints to pounce. And then it's O'Neill who makes it safe. And again, you'd imagine they would go long. They're living on the edge, the Wigan Warriors, at the moment. The momentum is all with St Helens.
Win for Wigan, they go third. Win for Saints, they go fourth. What a kick this is. Oh, well taken by Douglas.
That's another one he's taken over his shoulder. When you take a ball over your shoulder, just for a split second, you actually lose sight of the ball because of the mechanics of the catch. He's done so well.
Here's Clemmer. Nice carry from him.
Well, it's a carbon copy of the last set, isn't it? Walmsley into Clemmer.
Here's Welsby. Welsby taking them on up the middle.
He's coming into the game now, isn't he?
Here now is Shorrocks. Plenty of blue and white coming to the left. Walmsley, they're trying to get him over the top. He's in towards the in goal, but there were plenty of Wigan shirts around him. Needed help there.
I think Farriman did really well. He realised he was no match for Alex Walmsley, so just got locked up around the ball, made sure he couldn't ground it.
Ten out, they'll play it again. Here's Wright. Oh, he's lost it. He's lost it. And once again, St Helens have had so much ball in the 20 and only one try to show for it.
Yeah, look, and there's two sides to that. Is one, Saints, although, like you said, they've probed and they've tested edges, there's been nothing decisive, has there? The other side of that coin is the stubbornness, the meanness of this Wigan defence. Yeah, it's been at its very best, and it's had to be. Credit the young boys as well, Mark, who've stood up. You know, they've had to rotate, haven't they? But there is no doubt, if you're in this Wigan Warriors organisation, you get your chance. You know your role. You know your role. And you are in, and you are doing a good job for your team. Mason has just done just that. Kerr's just done just that. O'Connor has done just that.
And you mentioned, you know, we look at that result, Hull Kingston Rovers. They got a bit of a flog in there, didn't they? But all of a sudden, when you're only putting 2 or 3 of them in with the big boys, they can learn to swim a little bit easier than when they're thrown in at the deep end.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, it's very much part of the DNA of the Wigan Warriors and how they like to develop talent. That was an aberration, wasn't it? That game, and we know why, the reasons that wholesale changes were made. This is more Wigan-like.
Well, hold on, there's another change here. The gum shield's gone off. Havard is having to leave the field again.
We've got to broken another record here today. Yeah. We've had crowds, we've had ticket sales. I think we're into head injury assessments as well.
Certainly are. Here come Wigan. I've got a question for you about those gum shields. How come they didn't go off when we saw Delaney and O'Connor go absolute alpha leather into each other? It didn't go off then. How hard has the impact got to be? Because it didn't go off in that challenge.
Yeah, I don't know. Technical question that I am not qualified to answer.
Well, either way. Here's O'Connor back into the action.
Jeez, he's done well.
He has. Here's Mago. Not seen much game time. Rumbles to halfway. Here goes Smith, sends it high. It's a tester for Dagnall underneath it. Dagnall collects it, looks to spin away, and he's got away from one, he's got away from two. Heads in field, thinks about the pass, it's a shocker! It's an absolute shocker! What was he thinking? Wigan score! Whether this will count, I'm not sure. It may well be brought back, but what on earth was St Helens thinking there? We're going upstairs to the video referee to check it, but it looks like St Helens have just come up with an absolute howler.
We have a live call of no tries, coming up to 0 tackle. Looking at his 2 knock-ons. Live call, no try.
Okay, on field decisions, no try, so we're looking to see is the 2 knock-ons. So playing from this point, you can see that's lost by Hastings there. So what happens to this? Let's see if there's any alternative angle to see if there's a second knock-on. Lost by Hastings. Just going to look at further angles. So who did this ball come off? We know it comes off Hastings at that point. So what happens then? So lost by Hastings. Looks to ricochet into Kieran, but where did it touch him? Any other angles of a corner angle to see where it hits Kieran? Lost third. If you go slow on this angle, keep it playing from here, please. Keep it playing from here. You can see it's lost on that point. Keep going, please, keep going. Can we have a look at, go back on the original angle, please? I'm going to have to dissect this to see exactly where it hits Adam Kieran. So we've established this is a knock-on from Hastings. So where does this hit Kieran? If you can show me all available angles. This may help. Let's see where does this hit Kieran. So it bounces up. Does it hit the arm at that point, or is it looks like it bounces up into the chest? Definitely hits the chest. I need sufficient evidence to say that does not touch his hand or arm at any point. Given the angles I've seen, I don't have sufficient evidence to overturn the live call. That isn't a second knock-on from Kieran. So it's the first knock-on by St Helens. Thank you, I've made my decision.
Well, it took some getting there in the end, and there was no proof that Kieran didn't get a fingertip on that, which means it isn't a try, but they do get the next best, and that's the ball back. Matt Peat would rather have had the try. It's a tough one, isn't it? Chris Kendall on field thought it was no try.
Yeah, look, I think let's just take a look at the reason why we had that debate, though, and that is Owen Dagnall. Look, he's seen something, and seen a potential out, but he's thrown a really high-risk ball that couldn't be taken by Douglas. Double knock-on was the judge, and Dagnall's put his side under a bit of pressure here.
11. Oh, that didn't go in very well, did it? And by the way, George Delaney has failed his head injury assessment for St Helens, so they've lost another player. All into the scrum. They're coming here, looking to get it away. Farriman's going to get it away! Eckersley denied 60 seconds ago! He's in this time! The move from the scrum rips St Helens apart, and Wigan have a 2-score advantage here. What a moment for them. Farriman with a run, and a pass for Eckersley.
That's really well constructed and really well executed as well. We saw a fired off, low percentage pass from Dagnall. Well, I'll tell you what, there was nothing low percentage about what Wigan served up in return. Eckersley gets the try, but look at the movement. Look how smart that is. Eckersley takes the try. Farriman's movement off the base of the scrum. He feeds the scrum, puts himself into an onside position, skips through the attempted tackle of Nene McDonald. They just pulled that left-hand edge of the Saints defence all out of shape. It's really smart play. It's a training ground move. It's been superbly executed, and is that the decisive moment in this game?
Eckersley over again. What a year he is having. Don't mind a try against St Helens, does he? Can Kieran slot over the goal here? Kicking towards the Wigan fans. Strikes it, but it's wide. That goes wide. Right, let's head down to pitch side again. So much going on, Jenna Brooks.
Oh, so much going on. What a game. We're all just saying we do not want this to end. Just some news from Wigan's bench. They've only got one player left on at McDermott. Ethan Hubbard has come off, as you know, for his second HIA, so he is not able to return. Of course, Nathan Lowe, disturbing scenes from him. Sounds like he's ruptured his hamstring. Junior December came off earlier as well, with also what looks like a hamstring injury.
Thanks, Jenna. It's like an episode of casualty. Right, those that remain then, we need to find out who's going to be the player of the match. You can vote via the Our League app. Jay Field and Brad O'Neill for Wigan. And it's Darryl Clark and Daniel Saluka for Fita for St Helens.
At the Magic Weekend 2026.
Interesting.
A number of really good performances. I think there's been some really good bench impact from the Wigan Warriors. I think Taylor Kerr and Shea O'Connor in particular deserve a mention in dispatches. Mago now, this is crucial. Saints cannot concede here. They need to take possession, and they've got to get a move on, Mark.
Yeah, here's Farriman on the left. He's running it. Can he find a kick? No, he'll find a big pass. Gets it wide. Then the chip through from Ellis. It's going to stay in the field of play. Wellesby's going to be caught. No, he's not. Wow, a magic trick on the Magic Weekend. How did he get out of there?
Big play. Simply needed to get back into the field of play. Could not afford to give another set of six to the Wigan Warriors. Now the tough stuff starts. These are really, really tough carries. They've just crossed their own 10-metre area and they are running out of time. 7 minutes and change left on the clock, and another errant pass.
Yeah, it might lead to something. Oh, was that high? No. Kieran involved on Hastings. Ball flicked up here. They've nowhere to go here. Look at this. They have not gone anywhere. Saylor. Do they gamble? Do they go all in? They do. They're gambling. They're moving it wide to Robertson. Robertson puts a toe on it. Field across. Now he needs a bounce. He needs a bounce, and he just about gets one.
Tell you what, that is a fantastic end to a set. Started with Jack Wellesby getting out of jail, getting out of his in-goal. They finish. I mean, they fifth tackle started inside their own 10.
Yeah. That is an 80-metre play on the last tackle.
And it took some real bravery as well. You know, again, another little mini momentum shift potentially. Jake Wardle's been massive for the Wigan Warriors. Just carries like that, settle aside.
Yeah. Here now is Mago. He's come to the fore, hasn't he? Last few minutes, Mago. A couple of big carries to get his pack going downfield. Less one. The war of attrition goes on, but time is running out against St Helens. Like it was on Good Friday. They found a way that day. Can they find a way here? Dagnall.
Don't pass. That's it. That's a good carry as well. It's a good response.
All into the hands of Wellesby, but it was a target, an easy one, and Wigan will drag him back.
He was mauled, wasn't he? The minute he took possession, mauled by McDermott and company.
Here's Douglas. Hits it away. Now, Nene McDonald leaves Kerr on the ground. Can he produce some brilliance? He can! Nene McDonald, there's nobody near him. He's going to have to do it himself. Tackled 25 out. Saints getting brave now. They're chancing their arm and they're coming up with some great plays. Here now is Hastings. finds Shorrocks, back to Hastings on the loop around. He'll get it back to Saylor. Saylor, though, is still. Now he's looking for movement, finds Welsby. Bit static from Saints, great effort to bring Welsby down. Last tackle here, and time running out for St Helens. Shorrocks gets it to Hastings, floats it high. Douglas is after it. Was he eased off it? Was it a fair challenge? Ball on the ground, picked up. It's going to be 6 again. It's going to be 6 again. And now, what's happening here?
Well, he's got a call from the touch judge, hasn't he?
So he's challenging the last tackle turnover.
Well, this is a 50-50 anyway. I mean, Chris Kendall had already said he'd signalled 6 again. Got a call from his touch judge who was in a better position. And Jackson Hastings, well, look, he's got to roll the dice. He's got a challenge up his sleeve.
Well, that looks a fair challenge, but does it just hit Eckersley's fingers there? I think it does.
Yeah, I think it does as well. You see the finger bend back, the right hand. So it's not this side. I think it's the right hand here, there. That changes the trajectory of the ball.
Successful challenge. Chris Kendall's gut instinct was right. Yeah, it was 6 again.
They need it as well. They absolutely need it. This is going to be successful, and it is that last little touch from Zach Eckersley. So, St Helens, they start a set in great position inside Wigan's red zone. They simply must finish this set in possession with points.
Paul Rowley looks on. Penny for his thoughts. Shorrocks, Saluka for Fita. Humphreys back in at dummy half, gets it away to Hastings. Oh, well, Welsby scored, but I think there was a knock-on, wasn't there? Welsby celebrates, he's off, he thinks he's scored here, but how did the ball get to him? Chris Kendall is not too sure, he wants to check it out, and he's going to send this one up.
That's tackle 1.
As no
Black
try.
On, no try. Just checking to see if it's a knock-on. Oh, I think it was Shane Wright.
Okay, live calls no try, looking for is there a knock-on from Shane Wright? So what direction does that go? From his perspective, something maybe wider just to look at direction. So, any other angles, please? See, hit Shane Wright. The ball's always going backwards at that point. Any other angles, please? First angle, so you can see touches Shane Wright, but the ball is always travelling backwards in relation to the ground. So I'm happy to play on from this point. So looking at the grounding now, and the ball is grounded. Thank you, I've made my decision.
Massive call coming in. Massive call coming in, Mark.
Well, play to the whistle, that's what they always say. Jack Welsby did it. Wigan are dumbfounded at that decision. And memories of Easter come flooding back. Good Friday, when Saints scored 4 times late on. They don't need 4 today, 2 will do it. And they could be back within 2 points if Hastings can slot over the goal here.
Well, Jackson Hastings, I mean, he's credited with a try assist here, but he's actually, it was a mistimed run from Shane Wright. Touched the elbow, went back. Video referee allowed that to carry on. Jack Welsby gets the try. Big kick. Big kick.
Yeah, because if he slots this, it brings a penalty goal into play, and that's exactly what he does. Bit of golden point to round off the Magic weekend. Why not? The goal kick away, 4.5 remaining. Wigan looked in control, but Saints starting to chance their arm. They get a bit of luck, but they get the try.
Yeah, they do, and it's that man, Jack Welsby, who's had a really up and down game. And you could see he was trying to inject himself on numerous occasions this evening. And Harry Smith still remonstrating with Chris Kendall. He doesn't understand. Well, you need to understand that it's the 2-point ball game, Harry. There is 4.5 minutes left in Magic Weekend. And I feel we're not done yet.
Saints have shown in this latter part of this game their ability to move the ball quickly downfield. 4 and a bit minutes to go. Good challenge comes in from Wigan. There's Paul Rowley, looks reasonably calm and collected. Big shot goes in there. There's Matt Peat on the edge of his seat. Well, all the talk about identity before this game, and these two have turned up and served us up a treat. And here now is a pass, and there's another big shot goes in. Partington on Robertson. They're not going to die wondering, are they, St Helens? They're going to give it everything they've got. McDonald, who made a break earlier, stopped by Kieran. Up to the 40, less one. High kick. Can Field come up with the answers? Under it he does. He'll bring it forward and he gets to the safety of the 30-metre line.
Oh, he moved late as well. He had to readjust his feet. Jay Field does really well.
Here's Eckersley. How good has he been so far? Followed up by Wardle, forced into wing duty after that horrible injury to Nathan Lowe in the first half. Here now is Kerr, drops it back to O'Connor. That was a leg lift, and that's a penalty. Crucial. O'Connor gets pats on the back from everyone in cherry and white. He's gone well today. Shea O'Connor, a new name on the Wigan production list. Right, what's going on here then? What's going on down at pitch side? Are we counting how many players are on the field? Let's get down to pitch side with Jenna. What's going on?
There is some confusion down here, so I'm just hearing word that Alex Walmsley has failed his head injury assessment. So St Helens, apparently the rules are that they need to pull a player off to have somebody on the bench. But we're just trying to get clarification here, but this is what this little delay was.
I'm presuming that's because they've used all their substitutes and they've got none left for the head injury assessment. Yeah, that's how we're looking at that. So they have got 12 on the field at the minute. They are a player down. Chris Kendall just counted them there. Tara Jones, I think it was at pitch side, who pointed that out.
Well, the biggest 60 seconds of the evening so far, St Helens, they've got to escape here. They've got to hold this Wigan team out.
They do. Here they go. McDermott crashes it forward. McDermott and O'Connor on the pitch for Wigan. It's like the glory days are back. Oh, knock on there, but was there an obstruction? There was a hand in at the ruck. It's a penalty now, and with 2 minutes left, that will do it, you would think for the Wigan Warriors.
Yeah, well, they'll take the 2, they'll take a minute off the clock, and then it will be the last chance saloon. And it was Clemmer who got a right arm to Brad O'Neill, who complains. We've seen a couple of these this week, and I don't like it. I don't like it as part of our game.
Well, they're not going to take the 2. They will feel, I guess if you take the 2, kick it, you're inviting St Helens to have a chance of winning the ball in your half. Yeah. You turn the ball over here, John, they've got to go 90 metres.
Exactly. Okay, spend the minute down here. What do I know?
Here's O'Neill. He gets it away now to Farriman. Farriman will find Mason. He's shone up well as well. Lucas Mason. Here now is O'Connor. That's a forward pass, I think. Oh, dearie me. When you're burning the clock down, don't pass it forward.
Yeah, well, that's the caveat, isn't it, with the decision that they've made. It has to be a squeaky clean attacking set, and it's not.
Brad O'Neill looks rueful as Chris Kendall. 52 seconds on the clock. This is to decide, can Saints for the second time this year chin Wigan right on the buzzer? They're going to have to go 90 metres to do it. Saylor gets it wide to Robertson. Robertson dragged to the ground. Great work, Partington. But the danger not done. Was there a hand in there? Saylor doesn't panic, holds on, throws it wide. Nowhere though for Douglas to go. how he'd love to put one over his former club. Wigan, if they hang on, will go third in the Super League tonight. Here's McDonald. He is elusive, but even he can't get through all those Wigan would-be tacklers. We've got 20 seconds left. That look forward as well. They play on. Here now is Clemmer. Clemmer turned over. Remember, if Wigan concede a penalty, they get a shot at goal. Here's Shorrocks. Shorrocks fires it wide. It bounces to Robertson. The countdown is on. Robertson puts the kick in. Field collects it, and Wigan win. Wigan win the match. Saints appeal. Matt Peake takes a high five, and the referee, Chris Kendall, not yet. Hang on, it's not done yet.
There's a challenge going in here, and I think it was Harry Robertson. Was he claiming he was being pulled back?
So that was a challenge in the decision. They're claiming there's been a pullback.
And this, John Wells, is why it's always worth keeping a challenge up your sleeve.
They are literally out of time. And it's after Harry Robertson puts boot to ball. Does Partington tackle him off the ball? He does. He does.
He does. He does. And he didn't need to, because Field collected the ball. I think there's some mileage in this.
Well, I'll tell you what.
There's some mileage in this one.
I'll tell you what. This will be a penalty to St Helens. And Jackson Hastings has got the kick of the season here.
But don't forget, because it's a kick, it's where the ball bounces, not where the tackle was. So it's going to be near a goal. And this now, they've got to find exactly where it is. Matt Peake was taking the high five. He thought they'd won.
Listen,
he thought they'd done it.
The distance is going to be favourable. The angle is not. So it's a, well, there's where the ball bounces. it's a grubber kick. So he's maybe
got a meter.
He's maybe snuck to meter. Hey, listen, that may be all important. Right, here's the game. Partington, I think, has done outstanding. Don't forget, he's been operating in the centres, hasn't he, since Julian Sember went off, who himself was operating in the centres following Nathan Lowe's injury, and Jake Wardle moving to the wing. Well, I'll tell you what, you've got to have nerves of steel here. We saw Jackson Hastings in a feature with Everton, talking about kicking, talking about goal kicking, talking about how he holds the ball in a certain way, places it on the tee, taps his toe. You watch this, he'll tap his toe twice here. Tap toe, yeah.
Yeah, well look, they were 8 points behind with 4 minutes remaining. Wellesby scored what we thought was a consolation. How important now that forward pass at the other end from Brad O'Neill. Yeah, because without that forward pass, this play doesn't happen.
100%.
They can barely watch.
We are on tenterhooks here. Biggest kick of the season.
To level it up and send us to Golden Point. He's pretty good from this side of the field. This for Golden Point. Jackson Hastings. Can he do it? The former man of steel needs nerves of steel. He sends it towards the post. He's missed it, and Wigan win by the narrowest, the finest of fine margins. Wigan celebrate. They hung on in the end, just when St Helens threatened to get them again. Hastings will be distraught. Paul Rowley equally disappointed. They nearly brought it out of the fire again.
Yeah, they very nearly did. And you talk about identity. Well, I'll tell you what, they've shown bags of it there, along with character and resilience and brute force when it was needed. There's the kick. He knew at the moment it came off the boot. He sliced it wide by some distance. But what a game. Full of incident, full of controversy, full of class. And what a fantastic way to bring down the curtain on an amazing weekend.
One that got away for Eamon McManus. These two teams generally served it up. We thought they'd save the best till last. Make no mistake. They did serve up the best game of the weekend. Adam Kieran's try in the first half, together with efforts from Field and Eckersley, mean they had just enough to pick up a second win over their old enemy. It ends here, the Magic Weekend. What a game to seal it. Wigan 16, St Helens 14.